Hi friends! Today I'm doing my video super differently. I'm just feeling like I need a change. I'm feeling kind of rebellious. I'm feeling a little different. So this video is going to be more of like a hangout for us, which I think goes kind of with the theme of Libra season. Libras are known as being the mirrors of the zodiac. Like everybody says that about like every sign basically, but like that's really true for Libras. If Libras hang out with people who have low vibration toxic tendencies, then they're gonna vibrate lowly, have toxic tendencies. If they hang out with people who have light vibration and want to do good and all those things, then they're gonna kind of follow suit with that. They're sort of like the rules, and you know, in the tarot cards they're considered the justice card, so it's kind of like they're about diplomacy, what's right, what's wrong. They're big mediators. They're like, hey, this happened with this person, but you know, you don't understand it from their point of view, like they were hurting or whatever, you know. That's very like Libra energy type stuff. There can be a little bit of like people pleasing as well, but I mean, everybody's people pleasing in a little bit of a way, you know what I mean? But that's kind of is where that comes from. If you're a Libra and you feel like people don't trust you sometimes, it kind of comes from that, where it's like, I don't know if you really feel that way, or if you're just saying that to please me right now, or if you're just like manipulating me because you want to please somebody else, you know? So that's just something to kind of think about. I went into the Libra thing first, but I also want to explain kind of how I'm going to do this video. Today we are kind of chilling and we're vibing. I have a song that is on a specific vibration of how I want to feel right now. I'm going through some stuff, but this song is on repeat, so you might be able to hear it in the background, but it's just kind of like been what's fueling me today and got me really feeling myself, so I'm gonna have it playing in the background. If you are interested in the song, it is It's Never Over by Arcade Fire. I've been super into it recently, and I feel like it's helping me reflect a lot about like what's going on internally with me, you know? I don't know if you guys ever get like that with music, but I mean it's really good to use music for that reason, for like healing purposes. So what I'm going to do is I've already pre-done all of the stacks for the different signs. So this is going to be based more on basically you coming to this video and you choosing the timestamp that has to do with your sign. I'm going to add in like details about like what that sign represents, the tendencies of that sign, and things like that. So it will feel more specific to your sign in particular, but I'm not really going to be doing any type of like transit talk or anything like that. I didn't look up the houses previous to this video, or else I would have done something like that. I just thought this would be a little bit more fun and chill, and we are able to kind of like vibe together in this space this way. Okay, so this is the way I'm going to do it. I will go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm going to start every sign with an affirmation, and I'm going to end with an affirmation, and then we're going to have cards in the middle here. But I prosper whenever I turn. I now see opportunities for abundance everywhere. I am blessed and prospered. Okay, so for some of you Aries people, it's important for you to recognize how you can prosper in this life. And look for opportunities, accept them when they come, things like that. You guys are big starters, cardinal fire energy, you know, so like being the first one to take that step. Okay, here's some of my basic astro cards. We have Mercury, communication and learning, so communication for you will be important right now, and learning kind of like how to navigate Libra season, because like you're both cardinal energy, you know, so this will be kind of like the type of energy to like get things started and make things happen. But Aries people aren't really that big on people pleasing, so I feel like that could end up being confusing. So it's kind of going to be an opportunity for you to learn how to communicate with people better. I have oppositions here, so yeah, struggle and some difficulties is going to be happening for you. Emotions and private self, so the moon here. And Pluto, power and transformation. So this tells me that I think that there's going to be an opportunity for you to transform when it does come to your emotions, and like learning them a little bit more during this Libra season time, and kind of like addressing your relationships more clearly, if that makes sense, and not focus so much on like what the outside face is, like what's my false self, what was I made to believe, how should I treat my parents based on how they expect me to treat them, you know, like all these different things that are going to really be a struggle for you during this time. Okay, sorry about that. I kind of like changed the lighting and changed the camera angle because I realized that you weren't seeing my cards. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of struggling difficulties when it comes to learning those things about yourself and really like analyzing, processing, and accepting your emotions. But through this experience, you'll be able to kind of gain back more of your power, especially whenever it comes to relationships that are kind of toxic or relationships that you don't feel like you can let go of. It's really going to be a time for emotional growth right now for you guys. Yes, we have Page of Pentacles, so learning how to kind of like take more control and more power back from other people. This is a card for like studying and like creating more stability for yourself and being an advocate for yourself as well. I have Six of Swords reversed, so this tells me that a lot of you guys are wondering if it's worth it anymore, you know? Like you've been kind of like hitting a wall and continuously like fighting with the same people over the same things, and it feels like nothing's changing. So there's kind of like this moment of like, do I continue to play this game with these people, or do I finally be the one to walk away, you know, and like put myself first. I have Judgment reversed, and this tells me, I think that for a lot of you guys, you might worry about what other people's judgments are about you, and this could cause you to judge outwardly as well, because you kind of like want to like be ahead of it almost, you know, like it's just like, you don't get to judge me, I've already judged you, you know, like type of energy. We have Ten of Cups here, so it is important for you to feel accepted by your family and embrace the love that they have for you and things like that. And that's going to be down here with this emotions and private self here. So in order to kind of like gain what it is that you feel that you deserve in your relationships and with your family and things like that, it's going to be important to kind of like process those emotional ties and the issues that are coming with that. And once you're able to release judgment and stop worrying about what other people think about you, then that will be the opportunity for you to transform. I have the Hanged One. Yes, see things from a different perspective. That's going to be with the struggling and difficulties. So it's going to be really difficult for you at this point to actually see things from a different perspective and analyze like why this might be happening, and instead of like internalizing it so much. I feel like your natural instinct is to internalize. So this is kind of telling you to work on that, you know, and like recognize that that's not really, what's it called, that really that comes from understanding, comes from a loving place. So you have to like look within and work to understand other people, understand their point of view, consider their point of view, because it's honestly easier to just not, you know, it's easier in the short term. In the long term it hurts you. And then I have Seven of Pentacles here, so this tells me that you have been doing some work, but you feel like it hasn't really been happening for you. So you're like afraid and you don't want to keep waiting for things to develop. Like you're like, when is it going to happen? I've gotten that message twice here about like waiting and wondering like, is it worth it anymore? And your personal growth is what's worth it. So it's whatever is most important for you. If you do have to cut people out of your life, that is like more of a question for yourself, you know, like, or do you guys need to make up? Do you need to be more transparent about what's happening with you? Like, what exactly is it that you feel like you have to go through and that you feel like you're struggling with when it comes to your emotions? Take your power back. Learn how to like navigate the world without pleasing other people or worrying about what they think about you. You know, I know that's hard sometimes because I think Aries, like in a way, like really want to be the best, you know, and sometimes we're not the best, and that's just literally okay, and we can't do anything about that. So I want you to work on more like self-acceptance, learning how to accept yourself more, and that's going to be what you'll work through during Libra season. All right. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later. Sorry, Aries, I forgot to read the second affirmation for you guys. I have, now I create a wonderful new job. I am totally open and receptive to a wonderful new position, using my creative talents and abilities, working for and with people I love, into wonderful location and earning good money. Okay, so this is a manifestation technique for some of you guys that are looking for new work. It's kind of like already accepting that you do have what it is that you want, you know, like kind of like write in your journal and be like, I'm already doing really well at this job, like I love it and stuff like that. And it'll like lead you closer to being at that vibration to where you will find those things, if that makes sense. Hello, Taurus. These readings are a little shorter today, but I'm going to read an affirmation first. We'll go through the cards and then I'll read another affirmation at the end. I see my parents as tiny children who need love. Ouch. I have compassion for my parents' childhoods. I now know that I chose them because they were perfect for what I had to learn. I forgive them and set them free, and I set myself free. I'm a Taurus sun, guys, and that's like literally what I'm going through. Okay, so we're gonna start reading these cards. I'm gonna try not to get too emotionally into it, but we'll see what happens. Okay, we have Sun, personality and life purpose. So how are you living out your life purpose? How are you embracing your personality and yourself and your tendencies? And this doesn't mean negative tendencies. Like every sign has its negative tendencies, if that makes sense. Like for us Taurus, it's, you know, the stubbornness, it's the that like fixed placement. Sometimes as well we're kind of like we can like defend people like almost to the death, and these are people that like are toxic towards us and don't treat us well and stuff like that. And then for people who we don't really know, they're not even on our radar, we don't ever think about them. So it kind of like it's where you ask yourself, like, how are you using those tendencies that come from the Taurus? And if your sun is in Taurus, if your sun is in a different sign, think about how that plays into your Taurus placement that you watched this video for. And how are you embracing that life purpose and your personality? I have Gemini here. So Gemini is about communication. It's also mutable, so like changing your opinion, adapting, whatever it is that you need to do. Air is also adaptable, intellectual communication. And then that masculine energy is like taking that drive forward and like taking a step forward and actually making a choice. We have another air card here, cardinal and masculine. So once again, using the wisdom you've learned to communicate more properly. And then with the cardinal immutable is like, yes, be the first one to say something, but also allow yourself to be flexible with what the results will be, you know? I feel like Libra showing up here is like super important too, that like Libra season is going to be a big time where it is important for us to look outside of ourselves. Because if you notice, fixed isn't here. We have mutable and cardinal. We also have air, which is like not really earth, you know? So it's like important to kind of like embrace seeing things intellectually, not as emotionally. I know that Tauruses aren't necessarily seen as emotional, but deep down we know that we are, you know? That's where that like bull comes from, is it's like whenever you're pushed and pushed and pushed, we hold it down and we don't really allow ourselves to feel it, and then one day we just feel it all so hard and we rage, you know? So it'll be important to be the one that's brave enough to start the communication and then be flexible with what the results are going to be, and how are you allowing your personality to be a part of this process. We have the devil reversed here. So this means that you're being tempted in some way to do something that's toxic from your past, but the reason the devil's reversed is, this tells me that you're actually not that tempted, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like old things are coming up from the past that are trying to make you feel tempted, make you like go against what you actually believe and stuff like that, and you know that that's not what's right for you. I have Ace of Wands reversed. This tells me that your creativity has been stifled. Your ideas, your passion, those things are being stifled right now. And I think that's where that communication is going to come in, because it's like, how are the people in your life holding you back? You know, and what's that temptation here? We have the Empress reversed. This tells me giving too much to other people and not focusing enough on yourself and your growth and, you know, the love you carry for yourself. I love this card so much in this deck because, like, look at how much of a badass she is. But yeah, it being reversed says that that's not something that you're even embracing right now. And that's also where that mutable energy is going to come in as well, because it'll have to do with like adjusting to yourself as well. Like adjust, like you might get triggered by something you had not realized you get triggered by, and then now you have to like work through like accepting that. I have 5 of Swords here. Let's drop the pride. during Libra season and allow ourselves to actually communicate clearly with other people. Like, if you won't even talk about it and you just like push it down, or you deny that it's even happening, then you're hurting yourself, you know? So you gotta, you know, and that's here right underneath the sun. So allow yourself to admit what's actually happening. I have 6 of Pentacles here. So this tells me that you might be in a giving mood during this Libra season, and this is just a reminder to give as long as you have, you know? Don't try to give from a place where you have nothing, unless literally you're just trying to put out good energy to get good energy back, you know? Like, you can help somebody with a task, but like, don't be like giving people money if you don't really have it, just to be a nice person or something. There's 2 of Swords here, so this tells me there's a very difficult decision you're meant to make, and it's with that cardinal air energy. So you are meant to take action, and this difficult decision you're having to make is one of communication or intellectual property, you know? So in some way you're going to have to use your wisdom to come up with this decision, even if it is like a difficult one, and then stick to it and really like trust yourself in this process. I have 9 of Wands as this final card over here, and this has to do with boundaries. Like, you can see she's building all these sticks around her because she's building a home, and she's trying to make it sturdy so people can't just like come in and take it. So it's important for you to really like try to have boundaries with people around you. I felt compelled at the beginning to talk about how we just let things go as Tauruses a lot, like if we love the person. So now it's kind of a time to not really let that stuff go and be the first one to say something like, hey, I don't really like the way you've been treating me. You know, like, can we talk about that? And like be the one brave enough to actually like stand up for yourself. Here's our second affirmation here. I am at peace with my age. Each age has its own special joys and experiences. I am always the perfect age for where I am in life. I like that. Because sometimes I get boggled down too by my age, especially when it does come to my relationship with my parents, because it does feel kind of like there's not like a separation of like that I'm my own person. It's more of like whatever they're currently going through, I need to be going through the same thing. I need to be making the same choices as them. I need to be doing, you know, whatever. And so that what's it called, that like not acceptance of where you currently are creates this anxiety of like always looking toward the future. Like, I need to be here, I need to be doing this, whenever it's like I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing. You know, I'm going on my own path. I'm accepting what my age is, where I'm at, where I'm going, and it's fine, you know? And not expecting yourself to act beyond your age, like wise beyond your age, you know, things like also allow like play into your life and allow yourself to be human. So that's the message for you, Taurus. I hope you have a good Libra season, and I will see you later. Hello, Gemini. The way that this is going to go is I'll read an affirmation at the beginning, go through the cards, kind of talk about what's going to be happening for you, and then we'll read another affirmation at the end. So our first affirmation here is, I accept my uniqueness. There is no competition and no comparison, for we are all different and meant to be that way. I am special and wonderful. I love myself. That's awesome and amazing, and something that Geminis really should like kind of like embrace a little bit more, because Geminis are very much like, they're really good with communication, but they're also mutable. So it's kind of like adapting and changing to whatever like is most beneficial at the time, you know? So it's like, if it's beneficial for you to confront this person, then you will, but it's also like if it's more beneficial for you to do something that isn't necessarily like on par with being like a just person, then that's something that Geminis are, if they're not really evolved, are likely to like make that choice, you know? So it does kind of come from this like feeling of needing to be accepted by others. Whoever is the top dog basically is who will have your loyalty. So it's kind of important to like listen to yourself and not follow whoever has the most power in the room. Allow yourself to be in power of yourself, if that makes sense. Some of you Geminis don't need that message, but some of you guys do. Okay, so we have Virgo here, feminine, another mutable, because you know Geminis are mutable, but this is Earth, so mutable Earth here. And also feminine, so this is about communication. They also share Mercury as well. We have Aquarius, so another air sign. masculine, but this one is fixed. So this is more about being fixed within your opinions, like I was just saying earlier. And then we have Leo here. Fixed fire, and this is about kind of like putting yourself first. Leos are so independent, and they're honestly like super, I mean, every fixed sign is stubborn, but like they're like super stubborn in the way of like, if this benefits me, I'm gonna do it. If it doesn't, then I won't, you know? And then we have Saturn here, authority and maturity. Okay. Saturn teaches us our lessons. Saturn is like the father figure of astrology. So whenever we're being, you know, good, we're rewarded by Saturn. And our Saturn returns every like 30 years or so. So if you're coming up to 30, you're coming up to 60, you're about to go through your Saturn return. And I would look more into it if I were you, because if you're not like embracing the challenges you're meant to embrace, if you're not doing what you need to do, you won't be rewarded when Saturn returns. Something for you will be taken because you're forced to learn these lessons. And so since we have double mutable here, double fixed, this tells me that there is like kind of this like, there's this need and this energy to settle yourself a little bit more. Like, it is okay to adapt, but I think that at this point you have to adapt to what's best for you instead of adapting or catering to others. Virgos are known for catering to other people. They are known though, whenever they're done, they're done. And all of these signs are like that actually. Aquarius, Virgo, and Leo, when they're done, they're done. Sometimes Gemini can be like that, but Gemini is like, there's this deep inside need to be accepted because you have two parts of yourself. Gemini is the twin, so you have your light self and you have your dark self. And it's kind of a part of your life purpose to embrace both sides, because both of them are you. You make wrong decisions sometimes. And for many Geminis, instead of like really apologizing, they just kind of like try to like come back. Like they try to like sneak back in. And it's just like, no, you made that choice earlier. You have to deal with the consequences. You have to take accountability. You have to accept both sides of yourself. You have to accept your light self and your dark self. And this here is kind of like telling you to embrace that more of like fixed energy. And whenever you make a choice, stick to it. Don't make a choice because that person in the room had the most power at the time and you wanted to be a part of that power, and then now that they've lost their power, you want to ditch and go back to the other people who you had let down, you know? This is, by the way, this is a collective reading, so if you're a Gemini and you feel like this doesn't fit you, go look at, this is Sun, Moon, and Rising, so go look at other ones, but this is like really something I'm feeling compelled to like talk about. And it's like, it's something I have seen multiple Geminis also struggle with, you know, the decision to always go with whoever has the most power in the room. And many times it can lead you guys to narcissistic relationships, like over and over and over again, because narcissists demand power, they demand control. And for a Gemini who wants to be seen and feel special and loved by whoever has the most power in the room, where do you think that makes you end up, you know? We have Two of Cups here. So for some of you guys, you're going to be meeting your soulmate, or you might already know them. But this is a soulmate connection card here. I also have Ace of Swords reversed. So this tells me that there's something in your life you're not being clear about like communication wise. I was just talking about people pleasing, right? So this tells me that maybe you've met your soulmate, but maybe you're a little worried about like losing them. So you're not like being your true self. You're not being clear. You're not being direct about like who you are and what it is that you want. I have Queen of Wands here too. So this is also like squashing down your like passionate creative energy. So I can see you like pushing this down and not really wanting to embrace like your fiery like true self. Like maybe you're afraid you'll scare this person off, so you want to pretend like that's not who you are. And it's right here under Leo, so that tells me to embrace who you actually are. Embrace being your true self. I have Nine of Swords here too, so some of you guys are suffering and going through. I know I felt compelled to talk about the narcissistic abuse. Some of you guys are dealing with a situation in which you are being put through the ringer, you know, and you can see that this person is in a lot of pain. They're staying up awake at night. They like can't sleep. And that's here with Virgo, and Virgos can be very people pleasing. And I think that you might be in a situation that's making you feel as if you can't be your true self. I have King of Wands here too, so definitely like not taking any steps forward right now. You had Queen of Wands and King of Wands reversed. That tells me that there's a lot of creativity, passion, all these things are being stifled for some reason. This might be keeping you from meeting your soulmate, actually. This might be work you need to do. And then I also have the Sun reversed here, which is depression. Not looking forward to tomorrow. So a lot of you guys are very depressed. Maybe you're not learning the lessons you're meant to learn. Maybe you're not being more fixed in who you are. You're not like standing, you know, we're supposed to always be moving forward, but sometimes there is a moment to stand still and analyze, like, am I doing the right thing? Is where I'm going right? Am I making the right choices? So it's important for you to like analyze and figure out what is best for you. Not what will please everybody else. What's best for you? I have the past is over. This is a new day, one that I have never lived before. I stay in the now and enjoy each and every moment. Okay, so that will be important for you as well. Virgo is also known for over worrying, and I feel like Geminis can worry a lot too. I feel like, and Pisces, honestly, I think that mutable energy makes it easy to like get confused and not know what's going on. Sagittarius as well, you guys are also mutable. It's like this fear of standing still, you know, this fear of upsetting other people, this fear of like not knowing what your next steps are going to be, you know. So allow yourself to heal from the past. And I think for some of you guys during Libra season, it's going to be important to analyze what parts of yourself you've lost over time and how to start working to get your true self back. That'll be important work for you guys. So that was Gemini. Leave a comment to let me know if that resonated with you, and I will see you next time. Hello, Cancer. This is your reading for Libra season. I'll start the reading off with an affirmation card, then we'll do the cards I drew for you, and then we'll end it with another affirmation card. So the first one we have here is, my life is a mirror. The people in my life are really mirrors of me. This affords me the opportunity to grow and change. I feel like for you Cancers, that's more of like a symbolization of like the effort you guys put into relationships that you don't always feel like you get back. Because like if you're choosing people who aren't naturally giving, then you're kind of choosing this path of feeling rejected, not feeling like you're enough, and all these things. And water signs are honestly like notorious for looking out for people who are emotionally blocked and then expecting to be special enough to unblock that emotion. And that's just not a realistic expectation to have for someone else. We have first house here, so the self and personality. So it's important for you, if this is your rising sign, then I'm really glad that you're watching this, because this is about like how you present yourself to the world and how you present, like how you see yourself in a way, you know, and how sometimes that can battle each other out, especially if your sister signs are your sun and rising. We have Chiron here, so healing and compassion. This is also like the wounded warrior. So this is somebody who fights for other people. And I can see that for you down here. So that makes me already kind of think that maybe you choose people that need protecting so that you can live out this purpose of protecting them, but then it brings you back to this reflection of the self and, you know, the mirror. And then we have Neptune here, imagination and transcendence. So this tells me that there needs to be a little bit more meditation and maybe some grounding whenever it comes to what's going on with you, like not living in this imaginary world where people can just, you know, change in a heartbeat because you want them to, you know. Yeah, we have 7 of Wands here. So this tells me that you might be being really defensive about yourself and your emotions. I can honestly feel that some of you guys are feeling defensive while watching this video, if that makes sense. Like there's already this idea of like, I don't do that, that's not who I am, like stop judging me, putting labels on me, whatever. And that's over here with this wounded warrior here with the Chiron. So that's like some work you have to do internally right now. I also have 8 of Pentacles reversed, and this tells me that you're kind of refusing to do the work needed right now. Like, you know what you need to be doing, you know what projects you have to be working on, but there's like this avoidance of doing it, and I get the feeling it's because you may be feeling depressed right now. or during Libra season, you'll be feeling depressed. We have the World here too. So this tells me you have the power. Immediately it popped into my head, you have the power to walk away and you are choosing not to. Obviously, like super abusive situations have their own issues, you know? So if you're in a situation like that, I get it. But for some of you guys, it's like you're actively choosing to participate in this relationship where you give, and the other person doesn't give back. And that's not really their fault. You know, I know that like sucks to hear, especially for you Cancers, because it's like you guys feel like if you give enough, you'll finally be loved, you know? Virgos are the same. I have a Virgo moon. But you guys are on like another level of giving. Like Virgos will at least have like a boundary of like, I'm not going to go past that. But Cancers will literally like go past whatever is like functionally normal. You guys will do things for people that people don't even want you to do, you know? Like you'll be told like, no, I don't need your help, and you'll still go behind the person's back and fix it for them. And then expect like praise and validation and affirmation, but it's like nobody asked you to do that, you know? And I know it's painful for a lot of Cancers to hear, but that's just kind of something that you have to accept about other people in order to have healthy relationships. We have 4 of Wands here, so there is celebration coming into your life. There is something to be proud of, like something you've been doing or you've done. I see there's Page of Swords here. So this is about learning how to communicate more clearly, learning how to, like, we have the defensiveness earlier, but this is also about like being clear about what your boundaries are with other people. And I think that is really important and would be good for you Cancer, because it's not about like not doing things for people. Like you should do things for people if you love them and want them to feel good, but it more comes with like doing it for people who don't want it, you know, or doing something with the expectation that the person will like do something for you in return, and then they don't and you're upset, but it's like that was your own expectation in your head that you didn't communicate with anybody. So it's important to have those boundaries be clear, like, hey, I'll do this for you, but like you owe me one, you know, or something like that. I can see limited options for you, or at least that's how you feel. Okay, it's popping up into my head that you have a friend or maybe a few friendships in your life where you feel like stuck. And you feel like you don't have any other option, or you can't meet other people, or like, you know, something like that. And it's like these people aren't serving you, they don't treat you right, but you still feel just like so stuck there. It's over here with transcendence, so it's time for you to transcend out of that mindset, because it's really not serving you and it's keeping you trapped in relationships that are poison for you. That's why I can see that you're refusing to work on things you know you need to work on, and you don't feel like you have the world or the power to walk away. It's these relationships that you're putting yourself into where, you know, you don't have to run to them just because they have an issue. You can say no. You can ignore a text. You know, you can like not allow your friend to spend the night over and over again whenever she keeps going through her same toxic crap. Whatever it is that you feel like you're going through. Because I also have here 3 of Cups reversed, which tells me that the friends you have around you are not good. Like they don't have your best interests at heart. They don't understand you at like a deep level. And I feel like this is causing an imbalance where you are giving and giving and giving, and these people aren't giving back, you know? So let's read our last affirmation here. I trust the process of life. There is a rhythm and flow to life, and I am part of it. Life supports me and brings me only good and positive experiences. I trust the process of life to bring me my highest good. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, this means that it's time to trust that these feelings you're having about how your friend might not actually be as good of a friend as you feel that they are. It's time to really like trust that the universe is communicating that to you. And so now it's time to like take action and like put yourself first for once. And I know that being alone probably seems really scary, but whenever you get rid of toxic friendships and relationships, you're opening up space and time to meet new people that will reciprocate the love with you, you know? And so it's just like try to get out of those cycles of giving and giving and giving, and then whenever push comes to shove and you need help, they're not there for you, you know? And I know that some of you guys have been analyzing, like, are my friendships really like for me, you know? And I think that Spirit wants you to know that if you feel that they're not, then they're not. Okay, so that was your reading. Please leave a comment to let me know if it resonated, and I will see you next time. Hello, Leo. The way that I'm doing this is I will do affirmation card at the beginning, we'll read the cards, analyze what's happening, and then we'll do another affirmation at the end. So the first affirmation I have for you is, my work is deeply fulfilling. Today I give my best to that which I do, knowing that when one experience is complete, I am led to even more fulfilling and rewarding experiences. Okay, so this is kind of like telling me that whenever you do participate in work in your life, you know, whether that is like an actual job, it's your creative things, it's, you know, relationships, whatever it is that you consider like your work, you put time, passion, all those things into it. Seeing it as something that is deeply fulfilling, I feel like can pull you out of like a fixed mindset of like wanting things to stay the same, you know, and it can help you like kind of like embrace that like each step forward is something new and something different for you to experience. We have sextile here. Hard work brings big rewards. So this tells me that there is something in your life that you are meant to put a lot of time and effort into, and it's going to bring you a big reward towards the end. I have Sagittarius here, so another fire sign, but this one is mutable. So it's like about, you know, releasing control a little bit more. Sagittarius people can also be a little bit more like wanting to be in the limelight as well, you know, but they're less like focused on keeping the attention on themselves. They're more of like, I want to make everybody feel happy, so I'm going to be like this, you know. I have Mars here. So Mars in retrograde could be affecting you right now, but this could also be a sign just to like wonder where in your life you are taking action and where you're asserting yourself and what exactly that means for you, if that makes sense. And then I have Pisces here, which is another mutable sign, but it's water. And this is more about like living out your dreams and embracing kind of like embracing something that isn't actually real, if that makes sense. Like Pisces people will almost have a completely pretend relationship with somebody in their head. No offense to any other Pisces placements if you have them. But this mutable energy I'm getting here is about like that you're going to have to work to adjust. This is like what I'm getting right now. You will have to work to adjust, and you will have to take action in a way that you might not feel comfortable with totally. I have Six of Wands reversed. So this tells me that there's something in your life that you don't feel victorious about. Like you kind of feel like you lost. And I don't know if this is a relationship or if this, you know, this is kind of like that work thing, I think. So it's like you worked towards something and you kind of lost it, and then now you don't feel successful. And that could be affecting your ability to actually take action and take charge. Move these up a little bit. We have Eight of Wands reversed. This tells me you feel really, really busy, like having to do a bunch of crap you don't want to do. Like you just feel like you're running around everywhere, like not knowing what exactly it is that you're supposed to be doing at this current moment. It's also keeping you from taking action. We have the Lovers here. So this tells me there could be a divine choice, or there could be somebody in your life who feels like a soulmate. I'm getting like a warning in my head though that this might not actually be a soulmate connection. I'm kind of getting the feeling that it feels like one, and there's like a lot of like devotion going into it, but I'm like getting weird vibes about this card in particular. I feel like there's a warning with it. We have King of Swords reversed. So this tells me I'm getting the message that there's somebody in your life who talks down to you, is condescending towards you. This could be somebody you look up to, like maybe like a family member or like a father figure or something like that. And this tells me that this tells me that this person is putting you down and making you feel bad about yourself, and yet you're working so hard. You're like you're putting in everything you have into this work. And there's a lot of conflict. I have Five of Wands here. There's a lot of conflict and competition. So this person could be feeling competitive with you and wanting to kind of like put you down to make themselves feel better. And then I have Queen of Pentacles here too. So this tells me that there's somebody in your life that I feel like you could reach out to who is like a stable person. This is somebody you rely on. This is like a mother figure, and this is somebody that you could like talk to about these things and allow yourself to be open emotionally, because it's down here with that Pisces, and like analyze your emotions, you know. Pisces actually does struggle with that, but the water here is like I think more prevalent than actually the sign of like Pisces not really knowing how to communicate their emotions very well with other people. They know how to feel them, but they don't really know how to communicate them. So I think it'll be important for you to kind of like reach out to somebody who you look up to, somebody you respect with like stable energy, and kind of like talk to them and like work through this other person in your life who talks down to you and makes you feel bad, if that makes sense. And then I think that this is a divine choice that you're meant to make, and it's one that there might be fear there, but I'm also getting a thing in my head about like people pleasing. So try to be like honest with yourself, so that you're not just like going along with things because you want people to like you or you want people to think highly of you or something like that. Like, be true to yourself. Okay, one more affirmation here. I am deeply fulfilled by all that I do. Each moment of the day is special to me as I follow my higher instincts and listen to my heart. I am at peace with my world and affairs. Okay, so this is like for sure telling me that you're not feeling fulfilled by what you've done. We had 2 affirmation cards here about feeling fulfilled, and then we've had so much information about like not taking action, not going forward, not feeling like you're winning. Like there's definitely something in your life, like your attitude towards your life and the work that you're putting in has to change. You really have to start thinking positively, counting your blessings, having gratitude for where you are in life. That doesn't mean have gratitude for this person who talks down to you, but have gratitude for things like I have a bed, I have a place that I sleep, I have the opportunity to work for things that I want to do, or something like that. I have good friends in my life, whatever it is. And this can help change your mind frame into a more positive mind frame, and a lot less about like seeking validation from other people. I'm getting the vibe that some of you guys like really want validation from somebody in your life, and you're like not getting it, and then it's making you like desperate and working and trying to overachieve so that this person will finally say good job. But this person's never going to do it because they're condescending and they don't have your best interest at heart. So that is your reading for Libra season. I hope that you are able to work through these problems, work through these emotions, and feel more fulfilled with yourself. If that resonated, please leave a comment to let me know. I will see you next time. Okay, the affirmation we have here is, the point of power is always in the present moment. The past is over and done and has no power over me. I can begin to be free in this moment. Today's thoughts create my future. I am in change. I now take my own power back. I am safe and I am free. Okay, so the discussion here is power, right? And how we can take our power back, how we can feel that we're living our truest selves. Because that's where it comes from. Power is a concept. So if we feel that other people have power over us, it's because we're giving it to them in some sort of way, right? Like we're not really like protecting our own power. I have Capricorn here. So feminine, cardinal, earth energy. So this is about like taking steps forward. This is about grounding yourself. And this is also about communication. I have second house. So finances and possessions. This might be a part of your life right now that you maybe are struggling with during Libra season. And the Capricorn there like kind of like does it twice. You know what I mean? Like Capricorn does not rule the second house, Taurus does, but Capricorns are sometimes I think a little more money obsessed than Taurus can be, if that makes sense. Because for Taurus energy, it's kind of like money just comes and goes. But for Capricorns, it's about like protecting your money, making sure you don't get screwed over, different things like that. And then we also have Scorpio here too. This is fixed feminine water energy, and we know that Scorpios can hold a grudge. So can Capricorns. Okay, so this tells me that for some of you guys, it's like all feminine power here. So it tells me that you guys might be kind of struggling to forgive, process emotions, ground yourself, not like seek some type of revenge for something. And I feel like this has to do with something that happened to you financially. Yeah, I have King of Pentacles here. Okay, so this tells me there's somebody in your life, or actually this tells me that material success is coming to you, but I also get the feeling that there's somebody in your life who like, they kind of seem like they have all the power, like they hold the finances, they hold, some type of power they try to hold over you, and I get the feeling that you're trying to move away from that type of dynamic with this person. I also have Knight of Cups, and this is kind of about like asking other people to fill your cup for you. So seeking external validation and wanting people to make you feel better emotionally instead of like soothing yourself. I have Four of Swords. This tells me that you're tired of waiting around. You're tired of resting. You want to just like go ahead and like take steps forward and like make something happen for yourself, but like that's not really working right now. And I feel like your finances are like what's struggling. And I feel like you might feel, I'm getting the feeling that power, when it comes to finances and your personal possessions and stuff like that, I get the feeling that there's a dynamic of like worry that it's going to be taken away. We have Knight of Pentacles here too. So this tells me that there's something going on in your life that is not going to be serving you long term. And I feel like it's whatever this dynamic is here. Yeah, all of these cards are Pentacles. Okay, so this could also have to do with, I'm getting a lot of things about finances, but this could also have to do with health as well, or your home. But I can see abundance here, and I'm getting the vibe that you feel abundant in many other ways, but it might just not be financially. Like you've been working on your health, you've been doing what you can to like look out for yourself in that way and stuff like that. But there's kind of like this energy around you, like maybe there's somebody who's like sucking this energy away, or like they want to take credit for what's happening or something like that. And then yeah, I have 10 of Pentacles here, which tells me that it tells me that like you might be feeling like you're going in the opposite direction of like stabilizing things for yourself. Like you do have abundance and you do have good things coming in, but with Capricorn being here and then 10 of Pentacles reversed, and then we have the King of Pentacles, this tells me that your financial stability is kind of being challenged at this moment. And you don't have the stability for yourself. So this is, I'm getting a vibe for some of you guys to move out of your parents' house, if that makes sense. Move out of a situation in which you feel financially dependent on somebody else. And then I have Temperance here too, which tells me that it's okay to kind of like ask for a little bit of help from people and not be so worried about like the power plays and stuff like that, you know, because I feel like power is a really big thing here, and like not wanting people to take advantage of you. I get the feeling that maybe you've been doing well recently and you're afraid that maybe a family member is going to come in and ask you for it. Maybe you feel like your friends aren't being as honest and truthful about who they are, so you might be feeling kind of used right now. That's what I'm getting here, especially with this emotional manipulation card over here as well. Let's do our other affirmation. I see clearly. I willingly forgive. I breathe love into my vision, and I see with compassionate understanding. My clear insight is reflected in my outer sight. Okay, so this is about looking within and seeing the people around you. Like, look at them and see if you do see them clearly, you know? And like, do you feel that there's a power dynamic there? Like, do you feel like somebody's trying to take your power away? And if they are, who is this person? Why is this happening, you know? So I feel like for you, it's going to be a lot of like, during Libra season, like interacting with people and talking to them and like figuring out what the core issue is and why you feel like you need to protect your stuff at this level. So that's going to be for you for Libra season. Good luck, and if this resonated, please leave a comment to let me know, and I will see you next time. Okay, Libra, it's your season, so let's see what's happening for you. I'm going to pull an affirmation card at the beginning. We'll go through these cards and see what messages we have, and then I'll read another affirmation at the end. So we have, I express my creativity. My unique and creative talents and abilities flow through me and are expressed in deeply satisfying ways. My creativity is always in demand. Okay, so embracing that creative side of yourself at this moment during Libra season. I'm getting the feeling that it's going to have to do with like beauty and love and like things like that, because you guys are ruled by Venus. So and you guys are very big on the appearance side. Like you guys are like good at makeup, you're good at dressing nice, like things like that. So we have Square here. Productivity and work. So things are going to be kind of like taking movement for you right now. Like you're going to be having to learn how to make things work, that like have conversations. Like this is just kind of like really like movement, like two parts of something going against each other. We have Jupiter here. Growth, expansion, personality. Okay, so a lot of our growth comes from Jupiter. Like we kind of like whenever Jupiter is direct and whenever Jupiter is in, you know, good standing with us, then we are able to expand and we can grow and good things kind of like come to us, if that makes sense. I have 10th house here. Career, status, and power. So some of you guys are going to be dealing with things that have to do with your career right now. That's over here with that productivity. And then I have the 4th house, which is literally your home. This could also have to do with your parents and your family, and then also your security. So how you feel secure in your life right now. Over here with Jupiter tells me that there is actually some growth happening in your home or with your family, so that's good. And there's like working and your career is expanding. So for Libras, good news, things seem to be working for you. I have Wheel of Fortune, so this is destiny and cycles. This tells me that where you are right now is exactly where you're meant to be, and you're like taking steps forward in like learning your destiny and where you're meant to go, so that's great. I have 3 of Wands reversed. This tells me that you don't have much stability currently, but maybe that's where your goal is and what you want to work towards. So this is a creativity card and a passion card. So it's important for you to kind of like reach inside and figure out like what exactly is the best thing for you to put time and energy into at this time. I have 8 of Cups. This tells me that you walked away from a relationship earlier this year and you're finally like letting it go, like for real. Like you're finally being like, it doesn't serve me anymore to think about this person anymore. And I feel like that came with that like anti-stability over here too. Like maybe there was somebody in your life who they just, I feel like there was an unequal balance. And since Libras are a mirror, I feel like you were mirroring that image and it kind of like made you fall off of track of what you're supposed to be doing. But now that you're away from this person, you're like back on track with your destiny. We have Queen of Cups here, so remember to be empathetic with others. I can see that you're expanding and you're opening yourself up emotionally. And there's like growth with that. 3 of Swords, this tells me, yeah, that there was a betrayal earlier, but you're moving on from it is what I've been getting. But I think the reason it's straight up though is because I think during Libra season, there might be things for you that are popping up. If you are a Libra Sun and your birthday is this year, sometimes our solar return can bring us like memories or traumas because it's kind of like a reminder that you're getting older, and sometimes it can be a reminder of things that have happened in the past that maybe you want to forget about or are hurtful to you. And then I have 9 of Cups reversed here. So this tells me to make sure that you are putting time in for yourself. So don't neglect important things in your life for sure. I think that's why it's reversed, is kind of like a warning to not neglect things. But it's also a reminder that it is important for you to feel comfortable inside your skin, feel comfortable in who you are. So try to make sure that you are embracing that part of yourself, the beauty part of yourself. And if you want new makeup and you can afford it, get it. You know, like different things like that. Like whatever it is that you feel drawn to spending money on, that's just for you. I also have, I am willing to forgive. Forgiveness of myself and others releases me from the past. Forgiveness is the answer to almost every problem. Forgiveness is a gift to myself. I forgive and I set myself free. So it'll be important for you to figure out what closure means to you. I would say something popped into my head to listen to your dreams. If you feel like people from your past are reappearing in your dreams, this probably is to do some sort of closure. So try not to be angry. Like let's say you guys are in a dream and they're being nice to you in a way they never were. Like your ex or an old friend or whatever. A family member, and they're treating you a way you've always wanted them to treat you, and then you have that moment of like realizing it's a dream, or you wake up and you're like, why isn't this real? And it's like, this is your brain trying to give you closure. It's trying to show you like, this is how this person should have treated you, or like, this is what you deserved. And it's okay that you didn't get it in your waking life, you know, because your brain is trying to process for you and allow yourself to forgive. Because a big part of growth too is letting go of blame. And that comes with accepting the fact that people don't always speak their truest self. You know, people hide their true feelings. People don't even understand themselves, you know? So this is kind of like a reminder that like if you have those types of experiences, like allow it to happen and like allow forgiveness to come in so you can have closure about what happened, you know, and then you can move forward. So that is your little message for Libra season. I hope you have a great day. Leave a comment to let me know if that resonated, and I will see you next time. Hello, Scorpio. The way we're going to do this is we're going to do an affirmation card at the beginning, We're going to go through the cards and make connections, and then we'll do another affirmation card at the end. So let's get started. Loving others is easy when I love and accept myself. My heart is open. I allow my love to flow freely. I love myself, I love others, and others love me. This is a big one for you Scorpios. I get it too. I have a Scorpio rising. There's this big, like, feeling for many Scorpios where it's like this fear of being betrayed so intensely that it can stop you from loving others. So during this Libra season, because Libra is all about like love and giving and people pleasing and stuff like that, I think it'll be a time for you to really try to open your heart up to love and loving yourself truly. Many Scorpios would say like, I do love myself. F you for thinking I don't love myself. You know what? I'm going to do something to you for even insisting that, or for even thinking that I could not love myself. That's not speaking from an area of loving yourself, because if you truly did love yourself, it wouldn't matter if I knew that or not. Right? Okay, so that's something to like think about and kind of like the mind state to come at this with. We have Venus, love and pleasure. Scorpios have no problem with like seeking out pleasure because you feel that you deserve it, which you do. But the love part is the difficult part, because Scorpios also will pursue people that like obviously are not interested in them or a relationship or whatever, someone who's emotionally unavailable. And then we'll try to force them to become emotionally available. And it's like, that's not really your place, you know? We have solitude and sabotage, 12th house here. So this is about sabotaging yourself. This is also about endings and like transformation with those endings coming, if that makes sense. And then we have trine, easy flow. So this tells me that it's important for love to flow easily with you, that you have to release the fear that you're going to be made a fool of, you know, and then embrace the idea that after you have released that, you can open your heart up to true and authentic love, and not love that needs to be proven or challenged, you know. We have the Hierophant here, so Taurus energy. This is also about doing what you're supposed to do. I feel like for many Scorpios, you guys like feel like you live above the rules. Also, once again, no hate. I have Scorpio on my chart as well. But it's like this idea that like you live above the rules and you don't have to abide by what everybody else is doing because you're special for whatever reason. Like people need to go on above and beyond to prove that they love you because that's just what you need or want or whatever. And this is kind of a reminder that it's important for you to play your role as well. It's important for you to do what is right, you know, and to allow other people to guide you and allow yourself to be vulnerable. I have the Hermit reverse. This is Virgo energy, but this is also telling me that you've been spending too much time in isolation and you're probably like over analyzing the things that have happened to you. I have Four of Pentacles. The message I'm getting here from this is like holding on to things too hard, like not wanting to like let anything go. Like it's like you want to make sure that it's in your possession and nobody else can touch it because it's yours, you know. And possessiveness can often be a challenge because the universe doesn't like it, right? If we hold on to something too tightly, the universe takes it away. I have the Moon reversed. So this tells me that there's a lot of negative thoughts you're holding about yourself and it's keeping you from growing or changing. And the reason why this is important is because of that transformation from the 12th house and finding love within. So these negative thoughts you have about yourself are not true. They're conditions that other people have put onto you, and it's important to like do the work to like work through that feeling, you know, and like let it go. I can see here that you're avoiding doing the work, you know. This Three of Pentacles reverse tells me that you've been avoiding doing what you need to do. And like love can't flow easily if you don't ever work on yourself. And I see Ace of Cups reversed too. So you're completely closing yourself off to the idea of a new emotional journey, a new concept of loving people at a different level. You're like refusing to even open yourself up to it. So like how can you be loved fully if you won't even allow it into your life? And then I have Page of Cups here, and this tells me that you do need to open yourself up. Once you start opening yourself up and being like allowing people to surprise you, you know, like because here's a big Scorpio thing. I've seen it with many different Scorpio placements. I used to do it myself as well. This fear that somebody is going to screw you over before they've even done anything that would show you that they're going to screw you over. You're already worried about it. So then whenever you go through the steps of like putting them through challenges, or like being your most off-putting self, or doing something that you know is messed up, or something that they don't like, or something like that, to prove to yourself that they love you enough to forgive you for doing that thing that they've already expressed they don't like, that is not being open. You know, that's creating a situation where you are going to fail. That's creating a relationship that's going to fail. And whenever you continuously reaffirm to yourself that people betray me by leaving me whenever I show them my true self, which is never what it really is. What it is like actively participating in darkness, you know? Because being able to dive down deep with an emotional depth and be dark is a gift. But many people with Scorpio placements take advantage of this, or they use it in the wrong way, and they use it as a way to push other people away so they can continue to reaffirm to themselves that they're not lovable. So you have to open yourself up to the idea that like, oh, maybe this person does actually love me, you know, and then give them the space to show you instead of trying to prove that they don't. And then also try not to one up either by, you know, betraying them before they betray you. That's a big Scorpio thing too. Because all that does is bring bad karma back to you. We have, there's plenty for everyone, including me. The ocean of life is lavish with its abundance. All my needs and desires are met before I even ask. My good comes from everywhere and everyone and everything. This is believing in yourself. This is what believing in yourself feels like. There's plenty in the world. I don't need to be valued higher than somebody else by somebody I love to really like be loved, you know? Like love is free flowing and it goes and it comes, you know? And that's something for you to learn in Libra season, is to embrace Venus, embrace love, and allow it to flow easily through you. Allow yourself to be open. Try to open up your heart chakra, you know? And work on it. Work on what's keeping you from sharing yourself with other people. What is doing that? And try not to isolate yourself so much to where you're like over worrying things. Or a big thing that can happen too is sometimes whenever you have low self-esteem, or if you're insecure and you just stay away from people, then you start to convince yourself that they don't like you, you know? And like, I've been in that thought process before too. Well, once again, no judgment, but it's like you really have to like work to let go of these negative thoughts so that you can allow love and abundance into your life. So that is your message for Libra season. Leave a comment to let me know if that resonated. I will see you next time. Bye. Hey Sagittarius, the way this is going to work is I'm going to do an affirmation card, then we're going to look at the cards and draw connections, and then I'll do another affirmation to leave you off with. So we have, I am willing to let go. I release others to experience whatever is meaningful to them, and I am free to create that which is meaningful to me. Honestly, I feel like this is a lesson that's already pretty easy for you Sagittarius people. You guys are really quick to be like, okay, this isn't serving me anymore, so I'm going to move on. Which I think is a good quality for you guys to have. But I'm thinking maybe some of you are questioning yourself right now on if you should let go of certain things. So we'll see what else pops up here. I have Uranus, change and liberation. So something in your life needs to change in order for you to be free. You guys are like the kings and queens of freedom. So North Node, so we have karma and life lessons. It's important for you to figure out what your life lessons are so that you are repaying your karma by learning them, you know? Because karma doesn't necessarily mean like you have to go through all the intense, horrible things that you might have inflicted on other people in a past life or whatever. But it's about learning the lesson. So like, are you going to have to keep repaying your karma over and over and over again, or are you going to learn the first time, you know? A big thing that happens with karmic relationships is it feels like a soulmate. And if you are getting close to somebody and it feels like a soulmate connection and they remind you of a toxic relationship in your past, and your first thought is, yes, a do-over. That's wrong. That is your ego, and that is you not learning your karmic lessons. What it really needs to be is, why is this person being presented to me again? And then look for how you were drawn to that person in the first place. What does being around them bring to you? What are you looking for? Most of the time it's external validation, right? This person sees you. and you want people to see you, you know? So that's just something to think about. We also have 11th house here. So friends, groups, and goals. I feel like friendship is going to be a big thing for you during Libra season. Which Libras are social, so I think that that'll work out. I mean, your Sagittarius is social as well. And then we have Cancer, feminine cardinal energy here. So it's important for you to kind of like embrace and honor your emotions as well, you know, and kind of like mother yourself too. Like ask yourself like if this is what you need or in your life, you know, especially with your friends. We have 10 of Wands reversed. This tells me that you don't want to take on all the work anymore. So you want to bond with people who are going to be helpful to you, and I think that that is important, and that's a good thing that you're working towards. And it's over here with that friendship card, so you're kind of like looking to your friends more for help. We have the Emperor. This is Aries energy, but this is also kind of a reminder that you do hold the power for yourself, you know, and this is fire energy as well. I have 8 of Swords reversed. Oh, that's so wonderful. This tells me that you used to feel trapped by something and you felt like there was no way to get out of that situation. But now you've like walked away and you're learning, you're changing. We have liberation here, so that's good. I have Strength reversed. So maybe the situation you did get yourself out of, maybe you're still working to rebuild the strength that you feel that you need from the from what happened. Like maybe you still are doubting yourself. So it's important for you to kind of like work through that right now and find your strength. Allow that change to take you there. We have Cancer again here, Cancer energy, but the Chariot reverse tells me that you're not taking steps forward, and it's going to be over here with these life lessons and karma. So that makes me think that maybe you're so afraid because you're not learning your lessons. You're so afraid that you're just going to keep living in the same cycles. And it's like, that's why learning these lessons is so essential. That's why it's so important. So that you don't, like, if you don't ever learn your lessons about, like, if you keep on dating the same person and you guys keep on breaking up for the same reason, and you never like actually analyze like why you're being drawn to that same person, and instead you decide to just be afraid of love, you're not learning your lesson. Now you're just avoiding it. And then whenever you do get into another relationship again, you might end up choosing somebody who shows those same traits again, because in your head you're thinking, do over, do over, do over. I'm gonna fix it this time. We're gonna be able to do things differently this time. That is your ego trying to protect your wounds. We have Knight of Wands here. So this is fire energy, and this is taking charge forward. This is like embracing creativity and passion in your life, and kind of like allowing yourself to take steps forward. So you have to find it within yourself to work on these things and find that they are useful for you, and then it'll help with your friendship so much. And you're meant to experience this change right now. It's part of your karma, so allow that change in. We have I am worth loving. I do not have to earn love. I am lovable because I exist. Others reflect the love I have for myself. Okay, so that's sometimes hard to hear, but it is an important message, because it is true. Like, you guys are also a little bit of people pleasers, not like too bad, like not Libra area, but it is like if you're feeling something sad about yourself, you're going to more likely try to find the outlet of like making somebody else feel better, because that'll make you feel better, instead of like going within and figuring out how to fix the problem for yourself. So try to work on that right now. Try to work on letting go of people who are not worth your time, who are not, you know, helping you see the strengths of yourself, and, you know, all those things. So do your best during Libra season, and if that resonated, please leave a comment to let me know. If not, I will see you next time. Hello, Capricorn. The way that I'm going to do this is an affirmation card at the beginning. We'll pull cards and kind of like do our message here, and then I'll pull another affirmation card at the end. So we have, I am at peace with my sexuality. I rejoice in my sexuality and in my own body. My body is perfect for me in this lifetime. I embrace myself with love and compassion. So some of you guys are going to be having issues with your body and the way you feel about yourself during Libra season. You might already be experiencing this. We have third house, communication and learning. So it's going to be important for you to kind of like learn more about your body and how to communicate with yourself is what I'm getting. So like how to understand whenever like you eat something and you feel bad about yourself afterwards, like doing that intuitive work to figure out like, okay, why was I drawn to eating crappy fast food when I know it makes me feel bad about myself? And then like kind of like going from there. We have 9th house, philosophy and experiences. So I think that this will lead you down a path of understanding yourself at a different level and embracing different types of philosophies for yourself. And then I have 6th house, health and service. So yeah, it's going to be health for a lot of you guys. I feel like a lot of you guys might be struggling with your weight or maybe just your body image in general. But it'll be important for you right now to allow your experiences to teach you something so that you can learn how to like go forward from there, how to serve your body, by the way, and like how to make sure that you're adding these things into your daily routines. I have Page of Wands reversed here. So this tells me that there's like some type of creative spark inside of you that's being stifled. And you're not allowing yourself to embrace it or go forward or like learn more about what's going on. I also have Death reversed. So this tells me too that there's some struggling to change. Like you've been getting messages from the universe that you're meant to change something right now and you're kind of refusing to even look at it or do it. I have Ace of Pentacles. So this tells me that there will be an opportunity for you to start focusing more on your health, and you need to take it. And whatever it means, if this is nutrition for you, diet, exercise, whatever, there's going to be a new opportunity for you to embrace it, and you have to embrace that. And it'll create a change for you. I have 4 of Cups here, so this tells me as well that like maybe you're kind of shutting off from other people emotionally, and that's where that communication can be a block here. Like maybe you're worried people will judge you, or maybe you feel like they don't understand you, so you don't even want to talk to them about it. Like let's say that like you have trouble with your weight, and then whenever you talk to other people about it, they seem to be immediately judgmental, so then you feel like you don't even want to open up because you're just like, you're just going to judge me anyways, so I'm just going to keep it to myself. So it's important for you to like learn that it's okay to talk to people. It's also okay for people to have opinions that aren't yours. Yeah, I have the Fool reversed here, so this tells me again that there's this new journey you're meant to go on and you won't go on it. You just feel like you're not ready, you don't want to for whatever reason, but it's the best thing for your health. I have 10 of Swords here. Okay, so this tells me that you've been going through a really rough period in your life, and this might be where the weight stuff is coming from, or the inability to focus on your health is maybe because this thing happened. Oh my gosh, you know what? Capricorns have been in trouble since Chiron went into retrograde. There was kind of like a warning that people who with Capricorns, like their pasts were going to be coming up and really like just getting back at them for what happened. So you might have been like going through hell these last few months, like repaying your karma for things that happened in the past. And then I have 5 of Cups here too. So this means that you went through some type of mourning and you've lost something. And I think that this has to do with the health too. So maybe you've lost your motivation, maybe you've lost somebody close to you, you know, something has happened. We'll pull this next one. I am totally adequate for all situations. I am one with the power and wisdom of the universe. I claim this power and it is easy for me to stand up for myself. Okay, so stand up for yourself whenever it comes to health, against yourself, you know. Don't go and eat that like burger you know is going to make you sick. Don't like eat dairy if you have an intolerance, you know. Try to put your health first and try to learn from your past experiences of like what isn't working for you and what hasn't been helping you. And this will open you up to learning more about yourself, embracing yourself more, and it'll also bring healing to you. Mind, body, spirit, right? All 3 need work. So if you're neglecting the body, your mind and spirit will suffer, you know, across the board. So try to be working on all 3 parts and bringing yourself closer to like spiritual awareness, you know, so that you don't feel like you're so tied down by your physical body, because your physical body is just a part of you. There's a lot up here and a lot in your soul that is separate from your body. So try to nurture all parts of yourself during Libra season, and try to like really love yourself and embrace that Venus energy that Libra season comes with. Okay, that's a message for you. Please leave a comment to let me know if it resonated, and I will see you next time. Hello, my Aquarius people. I am going to pull an affirmation card. We'll do cards to like draw connections, and then I'll do another affirmation at the end. So we have, I let go of all expectations. I flow freely and lovingly with life. I love myself. I know that only good awaits me at every turn. Okay, so letting go of expectations of other people, letting go of expectations for yourself. Aquarius people are big humanitarians. They really love community and friendship and stuff. Sometimes it's hard to tie Aquarius down as a friendship or a romantic partner, but as soon as y'all are committed, y'all are really committed, you know? So we have Aries here, masculine cardinal fire energy. So this is about like taking steps forward. This is about like, honestly, thinking less. That's the message I'm getting here. Stop hesitating, you know, and like over worrying yourself that you're doing the wrong thing. I have marriage and partnership here, 7th house. This also has to do with shadow work as well, because we have to do shadow work in order to have success in relationships. So maybe taking that first step forward to work on that shadow, because we also have 8th house here, which is sex, death, and letting go. So that is super important for you right now, is to let things go and work on your shadow for the relationships in your life. I have King of Cups reversed here. This tells me that somebody in your life is being manipulative. They're only being kind enough to get you hooked so that they can emotionally abuse you in some way. That's what this card means to me. So try to think if there's somebody in your life. This doesn't even have to be a male. It could be a female. But it's somebody in your life who is using you emotionally. I have Knight of Swords. So this is about like stepping forward and stepping into yourself and like charging forward. You know, like being brave. And I feel like it's telling you to bravely dive deep into your shadow work for your relationships, and to distance yourself from that emotional abuse, the emotionally abusive person. I have the Star reverse. This is you. This is the Aquarius card, but since it's reversed, this tells me that you're not feeling very hopeful, or maybe even feeling very in tune with yourself at this moment. And that might have to do with the avoidance of shadow work. The Magician, you have the power to manifest but don't feel like it. Why? You know, something to like really think about. It's below Aries here, so like driving force, creating something, doing it for yourself. I have Justice reversed. This is Libra. This tells me that you might be focusing so much on who is right and wrong. I get the feeling that you think that you're in the wrong, but the truth is always in the middle. It's never like black and white. So to focus so much on like who was right and wrong in a situation isn't even letting it go. Like release blame, you know, release it from yourself and release it from the other person. And then I have the High Priestess reversed, which tells me that you are not in tune with your intuition right now. You don't trust yourself. And this is probably why it's important for you to do this letting go and like shadow work, you know, like releasing, allowing rebirth into your life. That's what I feel like is going to be happening for you guys in Libra season. I trust my inner wisdom. As I go about my daily affairs, I listen to my own guidance. My intuition is always on my side. I trust it to be there at all times. I am safe. Okay, so trusting yourself more and reaching in with your intuition. So this means for some of you Aquarius people, it'll be important for you to meditate. It'll be important for you to ground yourself. Maybe come up with a ritual of some sort that will help you like kind of like combat this feeling of not really like understanding your true self, not knowing who was right or wrong, you know, and allow yourself to embrace the work you're meant to do right now, and allow yourself to cut ties with those emotionally abusive relationships. Like I said at the beginning, it's hard to get you guys in, but once you're in, you're really in. And so if somebody manipulated you to get in with you, that's okay, it happens. You didn't choose for them to do that to you. You didn't give them the life they had where they've practiced this. Because that's the thing too, is like however old they are, they've been manipulating that long. If you're dealing with somebody who's 35 and they manipulated you into a relationship you didn't want, like friendship, whatever, and now you feel stuck and you feel like you have to be committed to this person because you said you would be, they've had 35 years of experience manipulating people, you know? So don't feel bad because like you weren't prepared for that. You don't have 35 years of experience fighting off somebody who is being emotionally abusive, you know? So try to find that, try to find yourself deep within and follow like what your gut is really telling you. And like, also try not to brush it off either, because I think Aquarius many times too can be so detached from their emotions that you're like, I can literally, like, they'll be like crying, and it's like, I see that you're crying. It's like, I'm not crying. I know what you're talking about. You know, so it's like, be a little bit more in tune with the fact that like these things are happening internally, and it's something you have to let go of and release. Okay, that is your reading for Libra season. Leave a comment to let me know if it resonated, and I'll see you next time. Okay, finally we got Pisces here. I'm going to read an affirmation at the beginning. We'll do these cards, and then I'll read another affirmation at the end. So we have, I now go beyond other people's fears and limitations. It is my mind that creates my experiences. I am unlimited in my own ability to create the good in my life. I feel like that's good for you Pisces people, because you guys can almost control your reality a little bit. Like, that can be good and bad, because it can be like you guys can like protect yourself from hate, like negative thoughts about yourself sometimes, because you'll want to live in this fantasy world where there's nothing wrong with you. But then also you guys as well can sometimes live in the fantasy world so much that you're not actually like accepting the truth or what's really going on. So that'll be something we'll kind of go over, I think, today. We have Taurus here, feminine fixed energy. Pisces is normally mutable, so this is telling me that it's important for you to kind of like commit a little bit more. I have conjunction here, so positive and compatible. There's something in your life that's working. And then I have fifth house, romance and creativity. Okay, so there's a creative outlet for you, and this is something that like I think would be good for you to continue to do long term, and it works for you. It works for your emotional processing. I have two of wands here, which tells me you're always kind of looking ahead and looking at other situations, and you're not really living in the present. So I think that's where that fixed is coming from, is like trying to live in the present for right now. I have five of pentacles reversed. This tells me that you've been going through a rough transitional period in your life, but you're kind of trying to like move on from it, and I think that you are slowly moving on, because Taurus also is like financial prosperity, you know? So I think that means that like good things have been coming into your life more recently, like more abundance. I have Queen of Swords reversed. This tells me that to look out for people who are blunt, people who are just mean, and also yourself. Like if you're setting boundaries with people, try not to be like rude about it, you know, just be like, hey, this is like what I need. You know, I don't really need your approval of it or not, you know, I'm just kind of like letting you know and giving you a heads up, you know, instead of being all like, you hurt me and now I have to draw these boundaries and it's all your fault. Like, let's not guilt trip or be so blunt that it's mean. I also have Seven of Swords here, so this tells me that it might be important for you to not really keep looking over your shoulder and wondering what other people are saying about you, because people are just going to talk. And that might come from that bluntness too, of like needing to put somebody in their place and being like, yeah, well, that doesn't even bother me, you know, or something or whatever. Like, you know what, I never even cared anyways, lose my number, you know, like try not to be like that. And like, who cares what people think, you know, behind your back. We have the Tower here. So there is something in your life that is like totally changing, and I think that it is the separation of somebody close to you, and you worry a lot about like what story they're going to tell to other people, and I'm going to tell you right now, you can't control what other people say about you. So it's better to honestly just release that. And it's with that romance and creativity here, so if it's a romantic relationship, try to get like that creative energy out in some other way, and try not to focus so much on what this person thinks about you or what they're going to say to people. I have Two of Pentacles reversed. This tells me there's a difficult decision you need to make, or there's an imbalance in your life and you need to bring it back to balance. You need to make this decision that's going to be best for you so you can move forward. And I think the decision is to let go. I have Six of Cups here too. And I'm really getting the message here actually that there's some type of like generational stuff being passed down to you. So I think that things are coming up, and you maybe be thinking something like, I'm just like my mother, I'm just like my dad, or like, you know what, I'll never be happy because no one else in my family ever has been, you know, or something like that. So try to work through that doubt, because that negative thought you have about yourself and your family just isn't true. It's conditioning that was put onto you by your family, who thinks that they don't have any other choice either. But you do have a choice. You have a choice to better yourself, look for healthier relationships. Like, there's so many things you can do, but you have to fight the tendency to not do it, you know? In fact, this affirmation card goes with it. There is no blame. I release the need to blame anyone, including myself. We are all doing the best we can with the understanding, knowledge, and awareness we have. Okay, so like your parents might not know better, but you have the opportunity to know better. You have the opportunity to stop cycles. And since prosperity is coming to you soon, this is going to give you the freedom to work through this stuff. I can see big transitions for you. I can see the way you thought life was, like kind of like ending. And it's important for you to make that choice going forward, that you're going to honor yourself, honor your emotions, and bring more creativity and positivity into your life. So that is your message for Libra season. Leave a comment to let me know if that resonated. I will see you next time. Good luck.